Welcome back to Mount Celeste. I'm Danny, and we'll face the inner demons and reach for summit together. And I have sat here and thought about it for a while, and I think I'm stupid. I think what we do is we throw the jellyfish first, and we go over the top, and wait afterwards. I was doing it in the wrong order. I was throwing it and then waiting instead of. No wait, I was trying to throw and wait instead of. No wait, hold on. I guess it is the right order, just like in the wrong place. What I'm pretty sure you do is you have to go over the top and throw the jellyfish upwards. Well, okay, basically you have to throw the jellyfish first and then wait much longer rather than trying to go into the area, grab a crystal, throw it, and then come back out. You know, throw it before you're even in there. Does that make sense? Okay, also might be wrong. I might like to point out, but that feels like it makes way more sense to me, because I was like, there's a bit of a weird thing for us to have like a path over the top that we can't use, or that we don't use in the actual solution. It's a bit weird that you sort of had to use the same crystal twice. That seemed very unnatural. And I was like, what if you did use the path over the top? But not you, the jellyfish, I guess. Oh, that's not how you do. That's not how you do. That's not how we do. But yeah, I was talking about, not jellyfish, it's roller coasters last time. It's been a long time since I've been to an amusement park, I suppose. I think the last one I've been to is like Disney World in Japan. Disneyland Tokyo. And last time I didn't even go on any rides. If you don't know, it's because the queues were insane in Disney World. I basically go there for the merchandise and to watch the shows. Roller coasters are fine, but obviously nothing like heart pumping, so I'm just sort of just like, it's whatever. And I had already been to Disneyland Tokyo and ridden on most of the rides, to be honest. Because I'd gone with my friend a few years back, but this time I just went by myself. What was it? It was actually with my family. So okay, my idea is, okay, hold on, I need to think about this. You do this, you chuck, wait, dash, and if you do it with better timing than I did there, hopefully you can sort of dash up into where you need to go. And that doesn't certainly seem a lot more promising. Turns out it's a lot easier to work out what you're doing when you're just like sort of oh, what the hell did I do there? Sorry, excuse my language. What the heck did I do there? Did I wall kick? Wait, can you wall kick while carrying a jellyfish? I don't know why I thought you could. That makes total sense. Now I think about it. I was about to be like, what? You can do that? And I was like, no, hold on. That's literally been a mechanic this entire game. It's just a wall jump, except for now I'm holding a jellyfish. You know what? This might explain why there's so many random walls everywhere. Maybe some of these walls I was meant to wall jump off of while holding the jellyfish. This has opened a lot to me. This has been a very enlightening episode of the Moonberry Hunt. Like, maybe I meant to wall jump. The intended solution is to wall jump off of. Oh, you know what? I bet we're meant to wall jump off this wall, right? That makes way more sense. Oh no, I just messed that up. I'm not going to do it because it's going to totally mess up my natural rhythm. I've got my muscle memory in this level, but still. But yeah, Disneyland Tokyo. Like the first time I went with a friend, and we went during. I remember there's like a Disneyland Tokyo calendar which you can check to see which days are busy and which days aren't. I went with my friend Ali, and we went on a day which was basically not particularly busy. We actually went for 3 days. One day at Disneyland and one day at Disneyland Sea, because they had two of them very close to each other, and one day at both. What am I doing? I don't know, but we saved it somehow. And yeah, the queues weren't very long. The longest queue I think we had was like 45 minutes or something for one of the more popular attractions. And then the time I went again to Japan with my family, and I went by myself to Disneyland. Like one of the queues, I looked at it. It was like, oh, this was one of the queues which was like at the end of the day when I went to Disneyland with my friend Ali. Was like 5 minutes. Like we could just walk in, and then like once we were done, we were like, that's a fun ride, let's go on it again. So we just walked back in, and we just like immediately got to the front of the queue again. This time, you want to guess how long the queue was? It was, 3 hours long. And I was like, what? I'm not waiting 3 hours for this. And then they have a lot of shows around the place where you can like queue up and to get to go for the stage show. And what they do is they have like a raffle every morning where they give out tickets, and if you're lucky enough to get a ticket, you'll be able to see the showing. And if you didn't, then sad days for you. You can watch from the outside. You just basically won't get a seat. They have a few shows. We had when I was there, they had Big Band Beat, I think it was called, which is basically an indoor sort of like big band show. I don't remember if that was there the second time I went, but whatever. But they had this other one called One Man's Dream, which is like this outdoor show in like the future world area. I can't remember what it's called. Outside Space Mountain, and when me and Ali went, we participated in a raffle. We didn't get tickets, but we were just like, you might as well, you could turn up anyway and see if there's any room, and we'll let you in. And then like we went there like at the showing time anyway, and I asked them, I was like, do we need tickets to go in? And they were like, oh no, there's tons of empty seats. Go in. And we were like, cool. And then that was still, that makes so much more sense. You're meant to wall kick off that one. Saved. Okay, so Chuck, wait. Okay, and I need to wait a little bit longer. Maybe it's as soon as I see it bounce, that's when I should go. Yeah, the second time around I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I check out that show again? It was pretty cool and it was fun to watch. And then I saw there was a long queue. I was like, oh, so I went to the attendant and I asked, how long is the queue? And they were like, oh, it's pretty long. And I was like, oh, okay. So like, I was like, how long's the show to the next, the queue to the next time slot? The next show, and they were like, oh, you know, it's full. And I was like, okay, what about the next one? Hold on. Apologies, that was a spam corner. It was a robot going, hello, this is Daniel from Amazon. And I was like, okay, hang up, report, block number. Yeah, I was like, how long is the wait for the next show? And the attendant was like, oh, it's full. And I was like, oh, okay, what about the next show? And he's like, oh, yeah, they're all full. And I was like, okay, what's the next non-full one? And he was like, oh, okay, you have to wait till the next showing, which you could partake in watching, is at 9 PM. And I was like, the final showing of the day? And he was like, yeah. The final showing I could see was at 9 PM, which is, I might like to point out, 8 hours from that point. Those people were queuing up 8 hours for that one show. That is commitment. Wow, that was terrible. Anyway, it turns out, yeah, that is how you do that jellyfish part. So good job me, figured it out. I was like, what? I think even the attendee couldn't believe it, but they probably like, you know, they're used to it. They were like, oh, you know, Disney fans or whatever. Families with their kids, they're here to watch the shows, and it, you know, they'll wait any length of time for it. I went way too early. As soon as I jumped, I was like, this is too early. I was like, what? What am I doing? These people here are waiting 8 hours for a show. So obviously I didn't do that. Instead I just walked around and I you know, had some food and got some plushies and watched some other shows on the outside because they also were packed to the rim. And honestly, I had a not as good a time, to be fair. You know, watching like on the beaches other side is not as cool as actually watching in the stands, I suppose. But it was fine. Can I save this? Yes. Oh no. That just blew my mind. I was like, these people are committed. They're so committed. More committed than I'd ever be. Ooh, to watch that sort of show. Because as good as that one-man show thing actually was, the one man's dream thing. Sorry, don't take me out for a Disney show. Not sponsored, by the way. Well, I don't necessarily agree with all of Disney's business practices. I think the creative team and department is top-notch when it comes to these sort of things. The Imagineers, as I believe they're called. Is this right? Okay. Ooh, come on. I forgot what to do. I literally just forgot what to do. It's because I wasn't talking. You know, last time I went there, I was talking and just let my natural brain processes handle everything. Ooh, that's a nice save that you can do there by doing a wall kick. You see what your brain is capable of subconsciously if you just decide never to actually think about exactly what you're doing? It's amazing. That was less amazing, but to be fair, I did stop talking. So yeah, I don't know. If you ever find yourself in the vicinity of Tokyo Disneyland and you're like, oh, what should I do? I gotta say, the best show, definitely the Big Band show. That was awesome. I'm trying to remember what songs they even sang. I remember Mickey had a sick drum solo at one part. He just like, you know, absolutely killed it on the drums. I remember Minnie Mouse sang an old song called Cheek to Cheek. And then like the lyrics are just like, I'll climb the highest mountain. Wait, should I do it in a Minnie Mouse voice? Probably not. How high is Minnie Mouse? Hi, hi, hi. I'll climb the highest mountain. Sorry. I can do nothing but apologise about. I mean, I reach a highest peak, but nothing, something, 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 runway cheek to cheek. And mind you, which cheek to cheek, I don't know, but either way, you know, let's not delve too far into the lyrics of whatever Minnie Mouse is singing. It was a very nice performance. And we did some other songs, but I don't really remember because it was quite a few years ago. You're also not allowed to record in that thing. That was a private thing. I assume they released a DVD and Blu-ray box set later, which you can watch later. I don't know. Also, interestingly, both times... Oh, that's not how you do that. Both times I went, normally I expect Disney to have like a load of character performers walking around and to do like meet and greets and that sort of thing. The only characters I saw was on the first trip, which is weird because that's when less people are about. And it was like Clarabelle, you know, the Chippendale chipmunk, the female chipmunk who appears in like 2 episodes, but is apparently incredibly popular in Japan for some reason because Chippendale are really popular. So of course the female Chippendale counterparts also need to be popular, or female counterpart I suppose is not too. And some really other random. It was like an elderly chipmunk, and I was just like, I remember Ali asking me because you know, obviously I know a lot more about Disney than he does. And he was like, who are those characters? I was like, I know the female chipmunks from Chippendale, but I have no idea who the other one is. I guess also from Chippendale, but I don't even know who they are. It was just weird. And those were literally the only 2. It's not how I normally do it. Mascot characters walking around. There's no Mickey Mouse. There's no Minnie Mouse. Entirely possible. I just didn't know where to look. Would I have queued up to taking a picture of them? No, not really, to be perfectly honest. While I appreciate the talents and the effort that goes in for these character actors. No, respawned. It respawned. Okay, saved. Oh, are we done? Oh no, it's a wind section. Okay. Whoa, whoa. I tried to press down. Apparently I threw my jellyfish. I tried to slow my ascent upwards so I could figure out what was going on. It's a very interesting choice that they decide not to let you see those sort of like electric storm sections with a periscope. I wonder why that is. Not just an in-law reason, but like the game decision reason. I suppose the game decision reasons to, you know, have to make you like see how good you are at improvising. You can't just plot everything out in advance. But it's very strange. Yeah, I would have thought there'd be more meet and greet. You know what? There was another meet and greet. There's this thing. I don't actually know if it's a thing Disney globally because I never heard of it until I actually went to Japan and saw it was everywhere. What's it called? Like Bear University? That doesn't sound right. No, it's got a name, and it's basically like these very rather, you know, surprisingly normal looking teddy bears and like Rabbit and friends, which honestly they look like they're straight out of Build-A-Bear Workshop. What are they called? I can't remember. But there was a meet and greet for one of those characters, and I was just like, who are these people? This is a Disney property I've literally never even heard of. But I don't know, it's popular in Japan, I suppose. Maybe it's a Japanese only one? You'd always be surprised about the differences. Oh, I was going to be like, you'd be surprised about differences in culture. Now I think about that sentence, that doesn't really make sense. You know, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, if anything. Okay, we're back up here again. Which is honestly surprisingly quickly. Okay. What are we doing here? We have a key, a lock. We have a double jump, and we can get another double jump. Okay, I guess is we throw it. Okay, I assume you're meant to throw it at the key. I just kind of missed it because I didn't really know the trajectory of a jellyfish. But I assume you're meant to throw it at the key until jumped it. Wait, hold on. Surely you need to catch a jellyfish again. If I throw it in that direction, it's not going to work. Okay, so that's why there's a little alcove there, right to the left. We had to throw it from that little alcove on the left. We had to throw it from that little alcove in the left. And then from that we can... Oh, that was quite close. reconnect with our jellyfish friend. Okay, so we are, I assume. Oh, look at that, perfection. Okay, how much left? Okay, we got a crystal. Okay, I assume we throw our jellyfish this way. Wait, what? No, we throw our jellyfish to the left. It bounces back and forth. And we reconvene with it over there. Okay, so but what do? We fall, jump right, dash upwards, up, left, up, up, reconvene, and jellyfish jump with that final green crystal, I assume. Okay, this is going to be quite difficult. It's going to be a tad touchy. No! Okay, you had to be really fast in that one. That looks like it's the end, though, to be perfectly honest. It doesn't look like there's anything above that. So I assume that's our final destination for our moonberry. Not actually all that bad, the final section. I'm looking at it now. We had to go way fast in that final section, because our jellyfish travels fast, it turns out. Who knew that a wind current pushing it upwards would make it go super speedy, like... Wow, I didn't actually expect this to possibly be the final episode of Celeste. I actually honestly thought we had a lot more to go. What episode are we on, you know? I literally talked about Disneyland in the final episode. That's not a good send-off. Oh well, you know, I'm going to carry on talking about Disneyland, I suppose. What else do I remember from Tokyo Disneyland? I will say, Disney merch is like off the charts. There's like Disney merch of literally like anything. Like you want something, you got it. And honestly, it's pretty good. I love it. Like I went during What am I doing? I immediately forgot what to do. During summer, so they had like these Pride Month celebration merch, which you know you might be like, maybe Disney's not the best representation of Pride and that sort of thing. You know, fair enough, but it's a cool looking bag. Is all I had to say. They had a cool looking bag, which I wish I bought one of, but I didn't. And they had this very nice sort of smiling rainbow t-shirt, which had like each of the characters on. You could choose one of each characters, and I chose one with Daisy Duck on, because Daisy Duck is the best. Daisy Duck is based. Let's be honest. If you haven't seen those Mickey shorts, which are on the YouTube channel, those are very good. And Daisy Duck is, well, she's not actually based. Let's be honest, but she's hilarious in them, I suppose. She's iconic, shall we say? You ever found out how weird how many of those like X characters iconic from like random kids TV show was on there? Like there's this one from this character in Barbie's Dream House or whatever that show is called. Was like very iconic. What's her name? Oh, I didn't realize that was the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna say my arm is tired from like my hand. I suppose it's tired from pushing down this trigger button so much. I think I'm pushing it down too intently. What's her name? She's got like black hair. I don't know, you can search it. Just be like Barbie Dreamhouse or whatever, being iconic. But they all have the same sort of layout, these sort of videos, like X characters being iconic for 5 minutes straight or something. Just, you know, there's a bit of modern Gen Z lingo for you there. Well, I mean, statistically, if you're watching this video, you're either a millennial or Gen Z in the first place, so, you know, maybe you already know. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I feel like they're very common. Like that sort of video. Like, I saw one for, like, a Bratz TV show. I was like, I don't even know if it was a Bratz TV show, but I guess that makes sense. There's one for another one. Do you think I was... What's that, that dog TV show? That kids' dog TV show, which is really... Paw Patrol. Do you think it's a Paw Patrol one? Because it's a thing, like, when people are, like, have to work on these kids' TV show, if it's one which, like, it doesn't really matter, sometimes the writers just sort of go ham and make it, like, amazingly good. And apparently, Barbie's Adventure in Dreamhouse is actually pretty good. It's one of those TV shows where the writers were like, you know what, let's just, you know, not make this, like, cringy and cliche, let's make it cliche, but also kind of funny at the same time. Like, the Looney Tunes... I don't know which one it is, because there's so many Looney Tunes shows, but there's one of the modern one. It's actually pretty good, because Lola Bunny is hilarious in that one, from what I remember. Okay, Saved. And Bugs and Daffy are both very good at that one, too. So definitely give that a watch if you're so inclined. Wait, maybe we can just wall kick off that one. Maybe we don't have to do this jellyfish jump. I don't know. That was certainly unexpected when we went too high with a jellyfish jump. Who even knew there could be a too high? I mean, I suppose it's similar to like My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and it's sort of surgence in adult viewership, I suppose, all those years back. Was I one of them? I was. I guess I wasn't an adult, to be fair, I was a teenager, but still. You know, maybe Barbie's Adventure in Dreamhouse? Or the Bratz show? I don't know what it's called, to be honest. Or the Looney Tunes show? Maybe they're just waiting for their sort of own fandom to kick off of. You know? I don't know. I feel like her name is Rochelle, or something like that. But they're some of the funniest characters. They're very sort of like arrogant, full of themselves sort of characters, everything about them. And I think they're only more funny in these sort of shows is because the characters tend to be like very safe a lot of the time, you know? Very like a goody two-shoes sort of character. So having a character which is basically arrogant, selfish, or like... I'm not going to say mean, because they're never like straight up bullies a lot of the time, but... Well, you know, I guess they are sometimes. But... much more like self-centered characters is always a little bit refreshing to see compared to like the very virtuous, you know, Barbie or like Mickey Mouse or well, not really Bugs Bunny, I suppose. I guess Bugs Bunny was always kind of a rascal, wasn't he? Or a softened down version. You know, that's why like Donald Duck is so popular and Mickey Mouse is just sort of like whatevs. Because a lot of the time Mickey Mouse is portrayed as a very, very sort of vanilla, you know, can do no wrong, great person. Well, Donald Duck is always a very angry, swears like a sailor sort of character. Very expressive. And the same thing with Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck, you know. I'd imagine if people, like the writers or whatever, who had to create these shows, you know, whenever they're writing for the main character, who has to be like this beacon, this banner of virtue, who basically has to be able to do no wrong because they're the face of a brand, you know, but just like, oh, I don't want to write for this character again, what are they going to do, are they going to do the right thing, you know, whatever. It's so much more fun writing for this, like, morally grey, maybe not morally grey, that's a bit strong, but like a, not so, but imperfect character, you know. Imperfect characters make interesting characters. I suppose is really the long and short of it. This wasn't really meant to be like a critique of a writing of Mickey Mouse. It's just sort of like that sort of thing. Oh god. There's a similar thing with Mario, right, you know? And Nintendo. Like, don't you think more people latch on to Luigi as an interesting character compared to Mario? Like, I don't even know what Mario's, like, personality is. He's, like, heroic, I guess? I assume brave? I assume hardworking, but I don't really know. He's a very sort of generic... generic old... protagonist, I suppose is a better way to put it. But Luigi, you know, he's got traits. He's got flaws. He's very cowardly and scared. Living in Mario's shadow, I suppose, is always like a second-hand helper. Oh no! Oh no! Which is why it's significantly more interesting. You know, the same thing with Peach and Daisy. I'm starting to think this is a common trend. What's Peach's characteristics? I don't know. She isn't given much of a personality in a lot of games. The exception, I think, is Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, where she's actually given quite a lot of personality. And probably in some of the other Paper Marios. I don't know about the modern day ones, but the older ones, certainly. She had more personality. I assume she's got more personality in Super Princess Peach, which I have played a little bit of, but, you know, I've never owned, so who really knows? Basically, what I'm just saying is, hey, stop making one-dimensional characters, instead make three-dimensional characters. Just do it, it's easy. I said sarcastically, not knowing how to write a character in the slightest. But like, I feel like I remember reading, it was like, I'm not sure if it was an actual internet discussion or like a TV trope page or something like that, but it was something basic, it was called like the Mario effect. But I can never find it again, so I don't actually know if I like hallucinated it or something. But the general premise is that Mario is no one's favourite character because he has no defining traits or whatever. Okay, it's been a while since we've been up here. But because he has no defining traits, people don't really care about him all too much. Okay, remember, we got to be fast. We've got to be... That's too fast. That was in fact too fast. If I just diagonally dashed it, I would have made it, I think. That actually might have been too fast. Too fast. I'm not even sure if a jellyfish would have made it in time. I'm not sure how I did it so slowly, but the first time we went through then. It just ended up being slow, somehow. But yeah, there's a thing where, like, ask someone who their favourite Mario character is, and you'll be surprised at how few people actually choose Mario. And it's because of that Mario effect, you know? The main character is not many people's favourite character. I wonder how often that isn't the case. How many media properties are there out there where the main character, in it, might I add, in an ensemble cast, so we're not including games where basically there is only the main character gets the most development out of most of them. Most of the game, but any media property where there's multiple, I suppose, there's one distinctive main face character, I suppose, but then there's other characters which definitely like accompany them and have a reasonable amount of development, or whatever in the show, or media property or whatever. How often does the main character end up being the most popular character in the general population? You know, like Mario. Is Mario the most popular Mario character? I don't know. Is Sonic the most popular Sonic character? Actually, maybe. That one I'd be less surprised about. Sonic certainly does feel like the most popular Sonic character. Because I can't imagine it being Tails. Maybe it's Knuckles? Who knows? Whew, that was actually pretty close. I nearly messed that up. I'm actually concentrating now. Oh! Did I do it? Is this it? Is this the final episode of Celeste? Have we made it? What if I just let go of a jellyfish now? I'm holding onto his trigger so tight you don't even know. We're not done? We are done. This is it. The Moonberry. Wow. As a final thing we had to collect. And there we go. There we have it. I suppose this is the end now. We have finally done most of Celeste. We finally collected our final thing, and I spent the entire last 2 episodes talking about absolute nonsense, as per usual. It's like Hollow Knight all over again. I'm not sure what cutscene we'll get now, to be honest, but what a fantastic game Celeste was. That was an incredibly fun game. Love the platforming. The platforming was so smooth. Everything was so fluid. Everything felt like a dance. We meet with Granny again. Granny! Is this the same cutscene? Hey there, kiddo. Let's see if there's something different. It's so great to see you. I didn't know what to do without you. But you aren't real. This is just a dream. This seems like the same cutscene. So what? That didn't stop you from coming all this way. You finally found me. And now you care that is just a dream. Quit making excuses and say what you need to say. I'm sorry for not coming to your funeral. Am I right? But this seems like exactly the same thing. How that sounds familiar. But here we go. What a lovely game Celeste was. A fantastic game, which... Why didn't I play it sooner? Is all I can really think about. It's just a fantastic, fantastic game as we end off with this farewell. A goodbye, a farewell to Arms. As we say goodbye to Granny, as Madeline wakes up in her bed. Ugh. I'm having a big stretch. I feel accomplished after doing all of that. Honestly, that wasn't too bad, that final Moonberry stuff. I think Farewell, the final level, was actually harder, but maybe that's just because I'm more practiced from playing Farewell. That Moonberry wasn't actually nearly as much of a problem for me. So I'm sorry, if you want to see this cutscene, you can jump back to probably an episode called Farewell, or say hi to her for me, I actually think it's called. And that's when I've actually beat Farewell. And got things done. But there we go, Celeste wrapped up. Another Let's Play over. Join me next time, I suppose. Whenever we play our next game, which I believe is going to be or in the Will-o'-the-Wisps. Is what I think I've decided on. If it's not that, I apologise. But I'm pretty sure that is the next game that will be following up from this Mechanical Adventure Celeste. A precision platformer into a platforming exploration Metroidvania, I guess? I wonder if they give us like a final letter being like, wow, you collected all the berries. 1 out of 0. Incredible. 5,000 deaths. Let's just have a quick look at our log all over again as we wrap things up. All of them strawberries collected. All of them deaths in total. 12.9k, we didn't quite hit that 13,000. 42 hours of gameplay, my word. 14 hours. Nearly 15 hours in Farewell. That is crazy. Got full clear speed runs. Missing one for Mirror Temple because I did it in 2 parts. But whatever. Fewest deaths. Again, missing it again in Mirror Temple. But, you know. Who cares, I suppose, at this point. I don't know if we need to round off on the epilogue, but it seems like Farewell was the final cutscene. So I suppose for the final time in the Celeste series, if you joined me in this entire journey, thank you very much. And if you have been watching and you've enjoyed it, well, thank you very much again. I guess it's not how it normally goes. This has been Celeste, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join the Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. I hope we can see each other again on our next journey. But for now, well, not just for now, I suppose for the final time, it's our farewell, and bye-bye for now. What? That was a terrible ending, I'm sorry. Farewell.